Welcome back to the garden gang. It's Vanity with Brew Crew Garden Gang. Thanks for stopping by. I'm just fertilizing these onions that my daughter planted. They're looking wonderfully. They are still in the stage of, root development, putting on a lot of greens. Once these stop coming as much like this one, like I figure like when the newest one is about this tall, another one would be coming, like this one, if it wasn't starting to bulb. Just my thoughts. But onions are super heavy feeders, so I'm gonna stay on top of fertilizing them like around every 2 weeks or so. And I will cut these back so they don't start leaning over more than what they already are. But I just go through with like a little bit of granular fertilizer and then bone meal once they start hitting the bulbing phase. Because I really want them to do what they're gonna do before it gets super hot. Onions don't like the heat, so they gotta start bulbing. So I'm fertilizing again, and I've already went through this row and put a little bit. I just pushed the mulch back, put some granular fertilizer down, all purpose, and then I went back through with the bone meal and sprinkled that on the top, scratched it in, and then I'll replace the mulch and water it back in. I'm wondering so I'm in zone 7B, so I'm just wondering what everybody else's onions is looking like right now. I planted these, when did we plant these, Levy? February? February?
I don't know.
I think it was January.
No, it wasn't January, because they didn't have anything out. I believe it was the end of February too. Because I had just found them at Walmart, and I went ahead and got them in the ground. But yeah, then I'll just go through and replace the mulch and water it in. That's simple. Now I'm gonna do the outside of this row, and then I'm gonna do the inside of this row. Right, I'm gonna do this row here, so that this row isn't getting double the amount of fertilizer. Because if I go right here and then right here and then right here, this is gonna get double. And I don't want them to burn. And because I'm using a granular fertilizer that's 13, 13, 13, that's pretty high. And so I just want them to get what they need, not more than what they need. So I'm gonna skip a row. I did the outside. I'll do this side so this row can get fertilized, this row can get fertilized. And then I'll do this row so this row can get fertilized, and this row, and then the outside. I think. Well, if I do this one here, because it's kind of jacked up a little bit on this side with the rows. I'll go through here. No, I won't need to go on the outside because this row will get fertilized too. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then I'll just come back and show you guys the finished project. I might add a little more mulch, like especially down here. My son's mulched this, so they do what they can every now and again. But I really needed to get this done because I can tell that they're starting to bulb. So when they're bulbing, they're not really putting on more green, they're just focusing on. And the leaves sort of represent how many layers of the onion it will be. Just go through here, and then I'm gonna add both of my things, and I'm gonna scratch it in and move on. And this is all I got today for the garden. And like I said, I'm not gonna go crazy with this fertilizer because it's kind of high in everything. But onions are super heavy feeders. So I'm really trying to keep them fertilized as much as I can. I just take a handful of this good old bone meal. Bone meal is great for bulbing plants. And that's exactly what an onion is. It's a bulb. Now none of this will be taken up by the leaves of the plant. Everything has to be taken up by the root. Not like 511 or fish emulsion. That can be taken up by the leaves of the plant as well. Just stretch it in. All right. And then just cover it back up. That's simple.
Yep. See you at the finished product.
See you at the finished product, like she said. All right, gang. Coming up on the finished product. And this is it now. My mulch looks kind of ugly now because I scooted everything back and it was leaves up underneath there at first. But I got everything watered in. I just feel like these onions are taking up. This one is definitely going to start bolting. I mean, not bolting, I'm sorry. Bulbing. Like, in a minute. You can tell when those leaves or the chive part of it starts to really thicken up. Man. So, I did this one too. And this one just seems to just keep on putting on growth. Look at that. Just seems to keep on putting on growth, but it's not doing much bulbing. So I spooned it and I fertilized it just now with bone meal and granular. Same thing here. I didn't even get it yet. Same thing here. It's putting on a lot of green and it's just now starting to do its little thing. So, but that one is a little closer to the top of the soil. Whereas this one is down a little deeper. So maybe that's the issue. That's why I spooned it. So same thing there. And I did the same thing there. And here. So I just wanted to show you guys the end of that. Oh, I also put, since we're talking about onions, let's talk about onions. These were chives from the inside of the house that I found in the fridge. I was going through the fridge yesterday for all the compost that was in there. And I found these and they had long roots. I just stuck them in the ground yesterday. Nothing's died yet. So I figured this would be a good spot because this is where tomatoes are going. This bed is definitely going to have to be mulched because the topsoil, my husband grabbed the wrong bag. And this soil, look at that. This is just topsoil. But it's like that in combination with, like, there's no organic matter. It's all sand with that brand. And I think it's Timberland. I normally like the Timberland compost and then the Scott's topsoil is what I'll use to mix together. But both of those are so sandy, it's going to get hard as a rock. Everything over here is going to have to get mulched. I need to prune. I need to take that out. But yeah, that's the onion deal. I did that bed. That bed. Those volunteers that haven't bolted yet. They haven't volunteered. I mean, they hadn't bolted yet. And these grocery store chives. And this bed as well. Now, this is the bed that me and my daughter both planted at the same time, and I planted mine a little bit too deep. And so I did an updated video about how, you know, don't plant your onions too deep. I think that was on the tour, the impromptu tour. But they're looking, 10 times better since I came through and pulled all of them up. 10 times better. They're looking great. Look at that. that was not there. So this is a testimony, you guys. And we're talking about onions, so we're talking about onions. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick video about fertilizing your onions. And really staying on top of them, and it helps me to be a lot more accountable when it comes to the onions. So I was supposed to be doing hair right now, but I was like, I need to get out there and do something with those onions really quick, and then I'm gonna go in and finish my job with hair and mommy duties. Husband's in there with that mean tail rooster. He don't attack him, he just attacked me. Why are you giving them some more? Anyway, bye y'all. Okay.